Alright guys, so here's the color mixing chart. I've already prepared one here, PY74 with PR122, which is magenta. And I have prepared another two, PY74 with PR254, which is the bright red, and PY74 with alizarin crimson, which is PR177. And for that, I have divided my page. Let me show you. Oh, I cannot go any further. That's funny. Okay, so let me lift this camera. Maybe you can see how I divided my page into four. Left little spacing between for writing the numbers. And that's kind of what it is. And I do have a clean cup of water. I do have two brushes that are clean as well. Kind of. Sorry, then I have to really rinse them. Okay. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab more of that PY74, that yellow, and put it here on the plate. Right here. And the other color is going to be my one of my blues. So that's going to be ultramarine, PB29. Both colors are very creamy. Okay, that's very, 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 very important. I cannot stress enough how important it is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm using my brush, like right here. First box is strong yellow. Okay, PY74 should have been written here, and PB29 down here. Okay, each subsequent box square is going to be a little lighter. So I do have a little sponge on my side, like here. And I kind of wipe off a little bit of paint. Make sure your sponge is clean, guys, because your sponge has some stuff on it all over. Okay, so here I am, lighter and lighter. If you find that you are not getting lighter, go to your cup and dump a little bit of paint. Okay, like I just did. Okay, and here is another one. Oops. Sometimes if you have too much, wipe the tip of your brush and pick up a little bit of that pigment that is floating, like that half a drop too much. And this is my lightest. Well, not quite. But I just wiped my brush and picked up some pigment. Good. So now I'm going to my blue. So solid blue down here. Okay. And every time I'm going to produce a lighter shade. But now watch your sponge. If you wiped your sponge, if you wipe your yellow brush on it, and you go over the yellow with your blue brush, you know what's going to happen. Okay, I'm not getting the progression here, so I have to be careful. I have to wipe off some. Okay, good. Even lighter. Not quite so. Dumping some pigment. Beautiful. Okay. Another one. Dump some pigment in a cup. Pale blue. And even wasn't that pale. Well, it is kind of what it is. Now I'm picking up the blue. Oh yes, that's very, very pale. Okay, so back to my yellow brush. Okay. And I'm dragging some of the yellow across to the blue and just grabbing a tiny bit of blue. But barely any. See how it's changed the color? I know the color rendition isn't the greatest, but it has just changed the yellow ever so slightly and added that greenish tint to it. Yeah. So it is greenish yellow. which is what we were after. So I'm kind of going under each square. Hang on, my towel is kind of going yucky. Okay. You see, I'm not really like super OCD about, the squares. I mean, if you need to make a grid with pencil, hey, go for it, guys. I used to do it too, and then eventually I gave up because by the time I was done with a grid, I was so tired. I didn't feel like painting my charts. So here is that last green. So I'm still trying to recreate the green and make a little bit more of it. And adding another smidgen of blue to make it yet another tiny bit greener. And okay, this is not giving me the intensity, so what I'm doing is I'm tapping with the tip of my brush into the wet square and depositing more pigment. That's a nice way of controlling it, but you have to have a wet square. So if it's still wet, then tap, 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 tap will redistribute the pigment for you very nicely. And you can adjust the intensity that way. Okay. All right. Another one. And another one. And another one. And the last one. So, okay, here they are. Going back to my green, I still need to drag more yellow and blue to recreate that green. And now pick up more blue. I can only do 2 more rows, so be careful. Don't go too dark because you're going to run out of colors, kind of. So here is another lovely green. But this one is not as intense as number 2, so I added a little bit more pigment to it. Okay. Third box, this is very diluted, so I kind of flooded it with pigment, and that has evened itself out. Okay, another one. Getting really light here, guys, but that's the way it is. And this is the very last one. It's like super pale. Okay, back to my last green. And really an awful lot of blue. And look at the rich color. It's a super dark green, kind of tealish, dirty sort of green, but very close to blue, but not blue, right? So, really nice and intense. This is more of a rectangle, but it is what it is. I could have squeezed in probably another 2, but I didn't. Alright, so it's actually easier to control the darker colors, the shading, how light and dark they are. With light colors, it's much more difficult. Oh, I'm gonna cheat here. Well, whatever. Well, I should be able to squeeze in another one. But I have to pick up a little bit more of that pigment, otherwise there's hardly any difference. Okay, so this is done, and this is how we're gonna work each color combination, more or less. Okay, always clean your cups, clean brushes, and so on. And hey, happy painting, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.